So on number 15, we are going to identify the vertex of the quadratic in standard form. And then I'm also going to show you how to write that in standard form. And so how do you find the vertex? There's this formula, and it says you take the opposite of b, you negate b, divided by 2 times a. And so looking at this, remember, this is your a value. So that will go here. This is your b value. That will go here. And you actually don't need the c for the vertex. And so when I plug in, and this tells me the x value of the vertex, I have x equals negative all over something 2 times something. And we just said what goes here is the b value. That'd be negative 6. What goes here is the a. A is 3. So doing the math here, negative 6. That means positive 6. 2 times 3, that's 6. 6 divided by 6, that's 1. So that means the x value of the vertex is at 1. We call this the axis of symmetry. So we say x equals 1. Axis of symmetry. And what does that mean? That means that on your graph right here, when we know this opens up because it's positive, that your graph's going to do this. And we know the point right here, the x value, is 1. Now we don't know the y value, but it's very easy. If you know the x value and you need to find the y value, you just plug 1 in. So if you're trying to find the value at x equals 1, you just plug 1. If you're trying to find the value of x equals 2, you just plug 2 in. So I'm going to take 1 and I'm going to substitute it in. So I have y equals, writing down the problem again, I have y equals 3, but instead of x, I'm going to plug in 1. Minus 6. Instead of x, I'm trying to find the value when x is 1, so I plug in 1. And then I add 4. From here, you could just type all that in your calculator, and it'll spit out something, but I could probably do this in my head. 1 squared is 1. 1 times 3 is 3. So this part becomes 3. 6 times 1 is 6, so that's minus 6, plus 4. 3 minus 6 is negative 3. Negative 3 plus 4 is 1. So I just got y is 1. That means that this number right here is 1. So now I can say my vertex is 1, 1. This problem didn't ask for it, but if they wanted you to write this in vertex form, so you know it's going to be y equals something with an x, something on the outside, and this part's pretty easy because the 1 comes down here, and that makes that minus 1, and the 1 comes out here and makes that plus 1. Remember, it's the opposite of this, same as this. Now the stretch factor, the vertical dilation, you have to have a number out here. And what number goes there, it's the same number. So if it's 3 here, it should also be 3 down here. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to check my work. And so I'm going to plug this in and this in and just make sure they are the same thing. 3x squared minus 6x plus 4. And then I think 3x minus 1. And I just noticed that this is linear because I forgot a very important step, and that is putting a 2 right here. That's very important. So now I have 3x minus 1 squared plus 1. And notice they are the same thing. They're just different representations. This is called standard form. We know the y-intercept is 4 by looking at it. Notice y-intercept's 4. This is vertex form. I know the vertex by looking at it. It should be 1, 1. And notice the vertex is 1, 1. So I know I'm correct. What are the x-intercepts, if they were to ask? Well, it never crosses the x-axis in the real number system, so I would need to use the quadratic formula to find the imaginary solutions. So looking back, making sure I answer the question. Identify the vertex. I did that.